250 and 450cc dirt bike competitors and tuners looking for a performance advantage, precision tuning and data acquisition are paramount. Today, Cycle News expert test editor and accomplished rider Ryan Nitzen takes us inside Vance Hines Motorsports in Brownsburg, Indiana, diving deep into PowerPak, a true standalone engine data management ECU engineered to unlock the true engine potential of these machines.
Hey Ryan, Steve Polk, nice to meet you.
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
Richard Gadsden, nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming. We got a lot of cool stuff we want to show you today. We want to peel back the curtain on our PowerPak ECU. But before we dive into all that stuff, let's just do a shop tour, show you a little bit about what we do here, and start there.
Cool.
All right, let's go. This area here is where we build our engines. What happens in this room has led to all of those Wallies you see up there on the wall. You've got a combined 11 championships between the guys that have ridden on this team. This is a lot of memorabilia that comes from the performance that's derived from this room that you see right here.
That's cool.
We walked past some of our CNC machines, but we got more to go. This is Scott, this is his area. We build a lot of the crankshaft materials in this area here. Cylinder head porting happens on these Centroid machines.
And I think I heard yesterday, it's not all for the racing too. You guys do this for regular customers who can send their stuff in as well?
Correct, that's what we race to showcase what we do. We race to showcase what we offer to the public. We do cylinder head porting for a lot of race teams all the way down from Supercross, flat track, drag racing.
Wow.
The whole deal, and that goes for Harleys, inline fours, single cylinder dirt bikes. You think of it, we do it. We've even done some car stuff.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
PowerPak was developed by Steve Polk, our VP of Engine Development here at Vance Hines Motorsports. Steve has spent years leading our road racing programs, where data acquisition has played a critical role in delivering consistent results, including a Moto America King of the Baggers Championship in 2023. After seeing firsthand how much of a difference data made at the top level, he recognized the opportunity to bring the same capability to 250 and 450cc applications. The idea was simple: give riders across motorcycle racing segments access to the same tools we use to win. That's what PowerPak is, an engine management system built around real-world data, an absolute game changer developed for racers.
And this map, the one that comes in the PowerPak, is kind of like already optimized a little bit more for the stock bike, right?
It's based on a stock exhaust, stock motorcycle.
Yep.
And it's optimized. It'll generally show a slight increase in power.
Okay.
But there's things like the throttle response, some of the fueling characteristics are a little more enhanced, and generally I think most people are gonna feel like it's got a little more response to it.
Okay.
The next key thing is the tuning window is probably where most people will do everything.
Okay.
Because you have your fuel table, which is basically what your fuel values are. You have your lambda table, and the lambda table is your target. Think of it as, if I'm gonna let my motorcycle adjust itself, I get to declare what air fuel I want. And if you open it up, go to the lambda, that's you're saying, I want this motorcycle to run at that lambda. And the closed loop is using this target table to stay on track. The way we send it to you, you don't need to do anything. It's all the numbers have already been put in there. But as you learn, as you get a little more knowledgeable and familiar with the software, you might want to start playing with something.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is I'm looking at the numbers, and if I'm like thinking as like a test guy, like, okay, this is where I'm feeling I want more hit off the bottom. How, when I look at that table, how can I translate what I'm feeling into?
You look at the data first.
Okay.
And we're gonna get there.
Okay, so I haven't ridden yet. I don't want to change it. Okay.
We're just kind of going through the tabs.
Okay.
But the kind of the way that you'll, I think, learn to approach this is you'll pull the data, look at the data, and then you'll start to make correlations through the data on what you change. So if you scroll through here, it tracks what you were doing. It'll show you exactly.
And then it shows, okay, so yeah, go where you're off the throttle, it goes down back to zero throttle position.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can even target stuff that way.
Yeah.
Like, and if you open each tab, like if you open the ignition tab, it tracks you the same way. It shows you what you're doing with your ignition. Well, the beauty of the system in the simple form is that it can be a massive time-saving tool on a dyno, or if you don't want to be the guy that spends the money on a dyno, you can just go ride your motorcycle, collect the data, and tune just as good.
We made 3 pulls and it stayed pretty much in the same range within 0.3 of a horsepower. So we're making 53 horsepower at 9,500 RPM, 35.7, 0.8 or so foot-pounds of torque at 6,800 RPM. We're gonna yank it back off the dyno. I'm gonna take it in the room. I'm gonna put PowerPak on it with our base map file, and we'll come back and do the same thing. So he took the stock ECU off. The PowerPak could go in its place. That's one of the beauties of PowerPak that we wanted to make sure was that this wasn't something that you had to figure out where to mount, where to put it. We carefully did the design of the box to go right inside the factory boots. So they go right in the stock location. The only 2 things you have to remove are the stock ECU, and you're gonna remove the stock coil, and it's just as simple as these 2 bolts right there. You don't even have to take the spark plug out or anything, just take the 2 bolts out, unplug the coil, and you're gonna run. That's one of the benefits of PowerPak is you run a much stronger ignition than what the factory one is. So on the Hondas particularly, most of the bikes we can get coil unplugged, but because of how small that is, you can't do that on a Honda, so we make this setup for the Hondas. Push it down till it clicks, and the coil's on it. All right, Ryan, so you know we didn't change fuels, we didn't do anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the best of these 3 runs with the stock ECU. Run 2 made the most torque, but run 1 made the most power. We're splitting hairs, it really doesn't matter, but we'll go with run 1. And this is just a base map. I'm not gonna do any tuning or anything to it right now. Just gonna start it up and run it, do the same deal, run it 3 times, see what it does, and we'll look at the data and see what we got. We'll take the best one. So the best one to be run 2. Now you can see that it actually has a spot in there where it's not quite as good. Just right here between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM. Loses a little bit on the torque right there in between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM, right?
Orange is the new one?
Yep, here I can change that color. It's kind of hard to see, right?
Oh, that's fine. I just didn't know which one I was looking at.
Yep, so the orange is the new, is with PowerPak. The red is stock. So we got an area between 6,000 and 7,000 where it's not better, but you can see here, it's a solid horsepower and 0.6 of a foot-pound of torque better, and so on and so forth up at high RPM. And it's also better when you first hit the throttle down low. So we're really just lacking between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM. Why that is, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna check it out and find out. As you can see, right there between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM, it goes lean. So it's up to 14.2 air fuel in that area.
So it has less?
It has less fuel, so it needs more fuel in that area, and it will help it make more power. So this is where the data really helps you, because now I can diagnose that. I can correlate that to a reason as to why it lost power. So what we'll do is in between that area,
We'll select that.
I'll select that area.
You're just gonna highlight that little spike.
So it's a couple things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn closed loop on to show you that we changed the exhaust. It'll keep the fuel in close. That's the first thing I want to do. The second
closed loop goes along with the O2 sensor.
With the O2 sensor, correct. It's the auto tune, right? The second thing I want to do is I'm going to program some ignition retard into the mode button to show that when I press that and activate it, you can pull power out of the bike, try to make the bike more manageable, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll basically just do a dyno. We'll do some pulls, get full power, then I'll take some timing out of it, do another pull, and just show you that, hey, it actually just worked in the area that we asked it to work. So a couple demonstrations, I'll stop in between so I can show you what I'm doing. So you can see the gains up top for sure, horsepower wise, right?
Okay, so
But
blue is what?
blue is PowerPak installed stock exhaust.
Yep.
So you can see it makes at its peak, it makes a solid 5 more horsepower with the pipe. You see I did no fueling changes, right? So let's check that part. So you know that the last run the air fuels were pretty much right on target. So here's your Lambda target, and here's your air fuels. They're still on target all the same, except for that wasn't because I manually did it. That was because the ECU recognized that, hey, this exhaust flows a lot more air, the bike's a lot leaner. It would have been a lot leaner. Had you not had this PowerPak, we would have ran it a lot leaner just now, right? So it's adding 11% when I first hit the throttle, and it works its way down in this area to actually pulling 4%, which if I had to guess, I'm going to bet you that that's right here in this belly. So we're looking at 7,000 RPM-ish or so, 77, oh, I'm sorry, touchscreen. You see that that's in the same spot, right? So that directly correlates to a tuning issue. So, but the closed loop catches it and keeps it on target pretty much the rest of the way, the whole way. Now, if we were here to tune and extract every horsepower out of it, I could tune that belly out just like I demonstrated to you with the stock exhaust. We could tune that belly out and you'd have those gains pretty much everywhere.
You would just select.
You'd just select and fix it. You just select, begin selection, end selection, auto tune VE. That's the beauty of this. That's why this is for the user who doesn't want to do that much. They just want simplicity, or it's for the guy whose mind won't rest at night and he's thought of 10 different things he wants to try tomorrow. He can do that. There are plenty of aftermarket ECUs out there, but none offer the complete package like PowerPak. If you're tired of getting beat by the guy next to you, the answer isn't more seat time. It's better tuning, better data, and the right ECU. PowerPak was built for serious racers. Whether you're on the 250 or 450, chasing podiums in motocross, flat track, drag racing, you name it, PowerPak gives you the competitive edge you're missing. With real-time data acquisition, precision tuning, and the most intuitive auto-tune system on the market, you can use the racetrack as your dyno. Just ride and PowerPak handles the rest, adjusting your fuel maps automatically based on real-world conditions. PowerPak's closed-loop auto-tune system utilizes the wideband O2 sensor input to continuously refine your fuel curve based on throttle position, RPM, air temperature, elevation, and engine load. It doesn't guess, it adapts in real time. That means less time on a dyno and more time putting in fast laps where it counts. This isn't a nice to have, it's the difference between mid-pack and podium.
All right, guys, thanks so much for the tour today. It was awesome. Saw the whole shop, and I feel like I finally understand how the ECU works, and to really dive into the PowerPak was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Ryan. We were happy to have you, man. We were happy to get an opportunity to show you a little bit about the capabilities of the ECU, why we did it. Can't wait for you to get it back home, give it a ride, and give us a call and let us know what you think. Yeah,
I'm excited to put it on the bike and get a really dialed setting. I feel like I'll spend a lot more time tuning than I will riding, but I'm excited to do it. Where can people find these if they want to check them out as well?
They can give us a call. I'll be happy to talk to you, or you can visit our website at vancehinesmotorsports.com. There on our website, there's a lot of videos. We have about 5 or 6 videos on there showcasing some of the capabilities of the ECU if they wanted to gather a little bit of an understanding of what the ECU does. It's all on our website and our YouTube page.
Cool, check it out.
If you're serious about winning and ready to race at the next level, stop guessing. Get PowerPak on your bike.